Hello, everybody, and welcome back after a 2-week hiatus for AVADirect's live stream. I'm Joe.
Absolutely. I'm Wesley. I cut you off there. I'm sorry.
It's
Don't
okay.
beat me up.
I forgive you.
I'm a little rusty. 2 weeks, man. I'm telling you.
It's all right. We'll get back into the swing of things. So, quite a few things to talk about this live stream. Once again, thank you for joining us. For all who is watching, happy to have you back. Happy to be back.
Yeah.
Above all, right?
Most definitely.
We have these groovy little headsets now, so we can actually hear ourselves talking to the mic. So anytime I do something like this and you can't make out anything I'm saying, I can correct myself immediately. Or maybe there's crosstalk. I can't hear what you're hearing in your headset because of your microphone, but still.
We'll get there.
We will.
We will get there.
Let's start the live stream off with a bit of controversial news. By controversial, I mean potentially killing a manufacturer. And which manufacturer? Huawei. Well, everybody knows that Huawei products were banned in the U.S., right? We're all current on that. Now ARM, who is a big chip manufacturer, has decided that they are going to stop production on all Huawei phones.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, dude. They're done. I mean, on top of the fact that Android and Windows said that they are not going to provide them with any support for their phones. Well, Android had provided support, but they recently just said that they were going to stop pushing updates. So it's only a matter of time until those phones are rendered completely useless because you know how it works.
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Apps within the Play Store of Android will continue to update, and eventually, if you don't update your Android version, it's going to get buggy, and you're going to have all sorts of issues. So
it's kind of the same way with Apple.
Apple?
I have not.
Who's Apple?
Apple. Well, I prefer them. I prefer them over Android, but we know that.
You prefer Apple over Android? Whoa.
Hold the press.
Whoa. Where was that in the application process when you applied to work here?
I mean, my boss is the same way. So
I'm joking. And yes, she is. She's the exact same way.
Well, no.
Have you ever used or seen a Huawei phone?
No.
Huawei?
No.
Huawei?
Sounds like a good time.
Why?
It really does. I don't know. Just the Huawei.
Hello to the people joining us on Twitch.
Hello.
Hello, Karami at 21. Hey there, Alien Icon.
Hey.
Hi. How's it going?
I like the Super Meat Boy from Juke W. Thank you. Thank you.
We're also doing a giveaway this live stream, in case you didn't notice from the tag. We are giving away a Ryotaro CR488 chassis. It's a pretty cool chassis.
It's a nice case.
It is. What I like about Ryotaro is that the construction quality of their cases is acceptable for the price point. I don't say that because I'm like, it's kind of okay. Like, we've kind of analyzed competitor offerings at the same price point, and their cases actually did better in most cases.
Yeah, we did the internal consensus and voting on it, and it was between another manufacturer and Ryotaro, and I preferred Ryotaro over the other competitor we were given. I don't want to name names.
No, go ahead, name names.
Thermaltake.
Oh, ouch. Thermaltake has great liquid coolers for
no, they're liquid coolers.
Threadripper though.
Oh,
for
they're
sure.
really good.
The best I've used and seen.
They are really, really good. So I will say they have some really cool cases. I'm not saying that all of them. The one that I did see though was kind of like it was really, there was no smoothness on the top. So like if you kind of like just ran your hand on it, it'd probably cut you, and I didn't want that. So, but no, it's a beautiful case. I've seen it in action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually one of the gentlemen that handled it and made sure it was taken care of after everything was done.
Oh, you handled it.
Oh, I did.
And you handled it well.
Oh yeah.
I liked their liquid coolers. Their liquid coolers are pretty snazzy.
Their fans aren't too bad either. I like their
No
fans.
pun intended.
No pun intended.
That could have been taken in a couple of different contexts. Sorry, just had to throw it out there. So back to this whole mess with this whole arms deal. Right? Get it? I did it again. It's a complete mess considering the fact that there's already national security concerns, and with Huawei's arrogance in the situation, basically saying they don't need Windows, they don't need Android. Now they don't need ARM. I mean, they're going to be scrambling at the bet. TSMC also said that they weren't going to be doing anything for them either, and that's a huge semiconductor manufacturer.
Really? No.
Yep. They're exiling the hell out of Huawei right now. And I can't really blame them. I really wish I would have used one of their phones so I could contribute more to the conversation.
Right.
But I think it's big that a company that's been up and coming within the last year like, I mean, exceeding sales records in numerous ways, is now kind of being cast out and becoming the outsider of the situation.
Most definitely.
It's not going to end well.
I mean,
Hi, Juke W. Hello.
It's definitely an interesting story. With me being when it comes to phones, it's very hard. Like that's one thing that I really won't voice my opinion because I've been with Apple for so long.
No, I mean, you should, though. I mean, just because you're an Apple user doesn't mean you can't have an opinion. It's the credibility factor is different.
So, like, all right, my mom and my dad, for example, they'll ask me, like, when they're phone shopping, like, well, what do you think about this phone? For me, when I give advice when it comes to, like, phones, like, I kind of want to have hands-on experience. Like, this is how it feels, if it's user-friendly, things of that nature.
Right.
Which, they use, Android uses the same OS, so it's pretty much the same, but there's different tweaks here and there that each company does to put their spin on it.
Sure. Like Samsung with their phones. Especially.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last time I actually used an Android was probably 6 years ago.
Oh, are you serious?
7 years ago? Yeah,
dude. There's been huge improvements.
I went from Android to Windows.
Ew.
I liked it.
Ew.
I actually liked it. I went from Windows to Apple, and I never went back.
Yes, the giveaway is worldwide. Just want to reiterate that because Duke W asked. Oh, and we will do the guess the song. It's just going to be random. Or no, it's a Gleam giveaway. I lied. We're doing a Gleam giveaway. We'll do a guess the song next week, though, because I enjoyed that thoroughly. I wonder how many people... Can anybody tell me how many people actually guessed it right? 2. 2 people. How many entries? 14. So there were 14 entries, or there were 14 people that got it right? No, 14 entries. Okay, so out of 14 entries, only 2 people got it right.
This is correct.
Okay. Man, that's creepy. I just heard you in my ear.
Ooh.
I don't know whether to be impressed or to like it.
Sweet nothings.
Sweet nothings.
He literally just whispered sweet nothings into my ear. Literally.
I like it.
What, Juke W, what did you think it was? Tell us what you thought the song was. Because I know one person that I knew that got it right.
I didn't know it. When they played it for me, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I knew one person. Like, I knew the person that entered. Revenge of the Shinobi, you are right.
Congrats.
You are right. Yep. So, alrighty then. Alrighty then. Oh, they can hear you, Alex, on the live stream. They can hear you.
That was no whisper.
That was no whisper. I mean, at least then, like, maybe if I ask you questions, like, people can hear the other end of the conversation. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
I said the same thing. I did.
To be fair, I couldn't hear it on the master before, so.
Okay, well, all right. Well, at least now people can hear you when we have a conversation about what's going on behind the desk.
Oh, yeah.
I still vote to have a camera pointed at them.
That's what I said.
You know, we'll get there.
I'm just glad I didn't cuss.
That's true. You held great restraint, sir, and we'd applaud you, for sure. So to close up the Huawei discussion, right?
Okay.
Who do you think, if you had to guess anybody, who do you think they're going to reach out to next for like chip manufacturing and semiconductors? Do you have any clue? Do you know a whole lot? Like Samsung makes chips, Intel makes chips now. Hell,
AMD?
Nvidia makes chips.
Does AMD for phones?
No, I don't think they do. And someone could stand corrected, sure, but I don't know.
You know,
We'll see.
I could see Nvidia. If I'm not mistaken, it was. I don't know.
Hey, Dubs, and no Computex this year. Maybe next. We will see. I've heard some crazy things about Computex, though, as far as the weather goes and the atmosphere. And by weather, I mean, like, humidity. I've flat out had people tell me that, like, from walking around all day, they jump in the shower, they get out, and they realize that they're never really drying off because it's that humid. So it's kind of a bittersweet situation. I'd really love to go to Computex one of these years, but I'm also kind of worried about going to Computex as well. But, It's nice to break out of that comfort zone every now and then, right?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most
Let's talk about
definitely.
one of your topics, Wes. Let's mix it up. So that was tech news. Now we're going to go to a little bit of gaming news.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with. We're actually gonna do the third one on the list because this one I'm very, very excited about this. So Sony opens up PlayStation Productions to develop multiple game franchises into TVs into movies.
You sound really excited about it.
Yeah, because let me tell you, okay? All right, the reason I sound so
You're like PlayStation opens up their own studio.
PlayStation opens up their own studio to produce their franchises and IPs into TV and movies. Oh my God, stop the phones. Oh, wow. Let me tell you, okay? The reason I'm excited is they have some of the best exclusives. They have some of the best first party games.
Okay.
God of War. A couple buddies of mine got me a PlayStation 4 for my birthday.
Congratulations.
I was very happy.
And I'm sorry about your luck.
I did
Should have been a second RTX 2070.
No. If you're gonna give me a second, might as well go all out. Give me a 2080 Ti.
Sure. Okay.
But
you got it.
I was really happy because I did want one because I wanted to play God of War, Spider-Man, The Last of Us 2 is coming out.
Okay.
There's Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I just named off like 4 great games.
Sure.
God of War. That was the first game I played. I beat it. It took me 2 weekends because I don't have a lot of time anymore.
Did you list Uncharted?
No,
You
that's
monster.
on there though.
You monster.
Don't beat me up, all right? But God of War was phenomenal. If they execute it correctly, I mean, they could have a big hit here.
I've always wanted to get into God of War. I started to play the first one when they had their remastered edition for PS3.
So
And probably only got 3 hours into it.
the new one's phenomenal.
Is it? I've had a lot of people tell me that you don't even have to stay current on the franchise to play it.
No, absolutely not.
And it's still good.
It really does lay everything out there. So
Okay.
there's some things in there that tie into the original ones.
Okay.
Like there's a certain point in the game where something happened, and I was just like,
That thing.
oh,
That thing and that person.
Yeah,
That event
my-
happens.
it
and there's that
happened.
conflict and the sad moment. And then there's the triumph, and then the climax, and then the ending. Yeah, got it.
It was great. All right. But it was a really, really good experience. And I'm going to tell you, the ending was so subtle but so impactful that I just want more. So one of the big things that Sony said what they wanted to do with this idea and how they kind of got their idea for it is they liked what Marvel did with taking the world of comic books and turning it into the biggest thing in the film world.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, but does Sony have Disney dollars at their disposal? And Disney reach?
I wouldn't say fully, but they have.
Let me check.
They have dollars and they have reach.
We're going to do some quick maths real quick. All right, so
I mean,
Sony's net worth, all right? Sony's net worth today, as far as I can see, is $37.45 billion, right?
Okay, you're comparing apples to oranges.
Disney's net worth. Well, see, that can't be right. That's Walt Disney family. Disney's net worth, $96 billion.
Again, you're
So-
comparing apples to oranges. You're comparing a company that's been around for over.
But am I though?
Well,
Because
not
how
over
can
a
you
century, but-
say it's apples to oranges when it's two companies that basically are doing the same thing?
Because one's been around longer.
That doesn't matter. They're both companies that are going to start a production studio though, and have a production studio now and want to do. You just said that they were going to do the same thing Marvel did, and they liked it.
Not to a T. That's where they got some of their inspiration.
You just sound like a Sony fanboy right now, though.
I'm not being a Sony. You know what? Oof.
Apples
Oof.
to oranges, but they're
Ooh,
both
I'm
have
just-
production
I'm trying
companies.
I'm trying to bring up a valid point. So nonetheless, okay. Nonetheless. Sony Cinematic Universe, anybody? Okay.
Disney own everything everywhere. Disney owns you, and you're not even aware of it.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
aware.
If Disney owns me, why can't they get me better clothes? None of my clothes fit me anymore. Why can't that be on top of my health and my diet if Disney owns me? They need to take better care of me. Disney, I'm talking to you.
Speaking of Disney, we're both wearing Disney shirts if you want to get down to it.
Man.
What's up,
Hell, you're
Spixie? How are you?
Hey,
Thank you for
Spixie.
joining.
Hey. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Welcome
to
So
the
this is,
stream.
to re-clarify, they're opening Sony production studios
Yes.
strictly for TV content and movie content,
It's
right?
yes.
Nothing to do with game franchises or anything in that regard.
No, it's gonna play off of their game franchise.
All right, but the studio itself
all
is
right.
not going to be in charge of game development. It is just
No.
for entertainment content
Yes.
in the TV and film industry.
Yes.
Got it.
So,
Okay,
which they kind of
we're good.
they kind of gave like a little hint of it. So
Mhm.
there was a documentary that came out not too long ago that you can watch it on YouTube, but like it was really heavily based around watching it on the PlayStation 4.
Sony guts. It's Sony guts.
And it was a God of War documentary called Raising Kratos. I heard really good things about it. I might watch it.
I thought you were going to say Raising Cane's, and now I want chicken.
Chicken does sound good.
Right? Sorry, go ahead.
And I heard phenomenal things about it. I'll probably watch it. Love documentaries, not gonna lie. But I kind of feel like that was a little taste like, hey, this is some of the content we're gonna produce.
Sure.
So I love watching like the making of documentaries. Love it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Love
them.
But no, they're not gonna have any hand in game development. I mean, that's subject to change. But for the time being, it's mostly gonna be TV shows and movies based off their IPs.
Right.
So Hollywood Reporter reported that they already have several shows in the making. However, nothing's been
Confirmed.
Yeah, nothing has been announced or confirmed.
What would you want? What would you want them to make into TV series, and what would you want them to make into movies? So Uncharted would be an amazing TV series, and I already know that.
Uncharted would be a really amazing TV series. I haven't played it. I think Horizon Zero Dawn would be a good movie.
I agree.
Something you just like balls to the walls on the CGI, just make
Kind
it
of something like
big
Avatar.
yes,
right?
big and flashy.
Okay.
I think The Last of Us. I think that would be a good Raising Cane's.
Raising Kanos. I just think of a bunch of hearts on a shelf. You don't want the rest of your dinner? Finish it. Go ahead.
Finish it, boy.
Sorry.
I think The Last of Us would be a good movie if they
It'd be a
turn.
great movie, and they can't do a TV series because of it's just overplayed.
Yeah,
The whole
exactly.
post-apocalyptic zombie stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
I think God of War. Honestly, so like I think the movie era or the movie area would be better for a lot of their IPs.
sure.
I mean, of course, God of War. It's based on Greek mythology, so
Right.
You could definitely turn a TV.
that.
You could definitely turn that into a TV show.
Put that into your pipe and smoke.
But I think the first one I would really like to see is probably Horizon Zero Dawn.
That would be such a badass movie.
It
So
would most definitely.
I never played it, but I did purchase it for Casey for Christmas.
It's
And
on my list.
Zach ended up playing it when he stayed at our house before we went to PAX.
Okay,
And
all
it looked
right.
and sounded amazing. And granted, he was
heard-
playing it on a PS4 Pro, so it had like the increased frame rate and it had
Right.
anti-aliasing. It looked and played incredible. And even Zach was like, dude, like I had no interest in this game, but now I think I might like go buy it. Like this is
really?
he's like, I usually don't care for console games, but I'm having a good time playing this. I also got to hear what Casey heard every time I was in the basement playing video games or watching TV loudly, and I have like a 12-inch woofer right up a supporting beam, so the bass kind of irradiates in the area and equalizes things. And no matter where I was in my house, I could hear that bass, and I'm like, wow, I'm a jerk.
Juke
I owe her an
W.
apology, so I'm sorry.
Juke W said, and this is in regards to, I would assume the God of War movie or / TV show. And the main actor doesn't even need to know how to act. All he has to do is yell all the time.
So Samuel L. Jackson, can I get an amen for a Black Kratos?
So Chad McNabb on on Facebook said amazing game.
It is absolutely an amazing game.
I would
100%.
I don't know. What would you like to see? I didn't ask you.
What would I like to see? So The Last of Us, I want to see into a movie. I'd want to see Uncharted into a TV series because, I mean, Uncharted kind of reminds me a lot of Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider. A mix between the two.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Right? That was like the main reason why Casey was so interested in Uncharted when she gave it a shot. She's like, he's a male Tomb Raider, so we give it a shot.
Right.
And she played all the games all the way through.
Oh, really?
He was Chad was talking about Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
It's an awesome game.
Yes.
And yeah, it looks awesome. I want to play it, whenever I get time.
I've got one for you.
Resident Evil would be, if they actually rebooted the movies to be like the way that Marvel rebooted or was going to reboot X-Men.
We
That's
still
what
have
needs to
time.
happen.
We still have time for that.
I know.
But let me say this. So this is going to be the last thing. This is going to be the last thing I say about this topic. A Crash Bandicoot movie.
Ooh, not live action though. Don't do what Sega's doing with Sonic. Can't be live action.
What if they teamed up with like Pixar? And
Well, if they teamed up with Pixar, then it doesn't need to be live action, and it's gonna be friggin' amazing.
you gotta.
Could you imagine like the voice actors doing just how sweet that would be?
You just gotta take into account for the kids. You know what I mean? So I would actually go on my own to watch Crash Bandicoot.
No, you know what? That doesn't need to be a movie for kids because everybody in our generation, my generation and yours included, they'll go and see it. Adults,
absolutely.
100% will see it.
It could go either or.
Like,
You could have a TV show of it.
You're right. And it's going to be something that because of the content and the characters already, it's going to play into small children and older age children, just kind of like what the Sonic movie is going to do.
Right.
You know? I mean, if you look at like all of the posts online when there was the backlash on how they designed the original CGI of Sonic, it was mainly like adults, like older adults, like, you butchered my childhood, Sega, thank you. So they could do anything. I mean, hell, they could come out with, a CGI Mario movie and adults are going to go see it. I would go see it. I'd take my daughter and I would have a great time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I took my daughter to see The Grinch because it was Benefric Cucumber Patch playing the Grinch, so.
Cucumber Patch. No, I think
Stink Bandersnatch.
I think good things are going to come out of this. Chad McNabb said animated Crash would be. Hold on, I got it. Would be so awesome. I had to extend that.
And it would also be insanely cliche if at some point within the Crash Bandicoot movie, when like all hell is breaking loose, it does slow animation and it starts playing Dave Matthews' Crash Into Me for irony.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh, okay. You're
That'd be
onto
pretty
something
cool.
here. You're onto something here.
Oh, I'm overthinking the situation and probably putting into context that will never actually be, but still.
Right.
There's a lot you could do with it
Most definitely.
in a cheesy but very appropriate way,
Most definitely.
I guess. Infamous. Juke W. Yup.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Infamous.
One. I forgot.
That was
about
a game
that.
I feel like that they had a lot of great momentum with that they just snuffed out with its Infamous 2.
Yeah. I mean, reboot
No?
time.
Yes? No? Maybe? What other Sony titles? Dino Crisis.
Ooh.
I want a Dino Crisis. Not even
No,
a
no,
movie.
no, I'm gonna
I want
stop you right
I want a
there.
Dino
No.
Crisis 3.
Paradise Eve.
Ooh.
I saw rumors that they might actually redo Dino Crisis and talk about it at E3.
No.
Yeah. No, I heard the same thing.
No. Don't tease me with a good time.
Juke W said Sony can start their own cinematic universe, and I would be okay with that.
Dino Crisis reboot. Oh man, that game scared the ever-loving hell out of me when I was a kid, and I don't know why. Because it was just dinosaurs, but it was mainly because it was all jump scares. Like Resident Evil wasn't always about jump scares. It was the painted environment and the still camera that
Yeah.
made me nervous. Because you almost felt like in certain situations you had no control, like the dogs jumping out of the windows and you're in
Right.
a small hallway. You know, when I replayed the Resident Evil reboot, I never killed those dogs. I just ran. I didn't waste ammo on them. I'm like, no, because smart me, who hasn't played any of the original Resident Evil titles since I was like a teenager, decided to choose Chris, which has the smallest inventory and the lowest ammo count in the game. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fine. Oh, and then they throw in the Scarlet Heads. The zombies that don't actually die, they just
yeah.
pass out, and they sit dormant for like an hour of gameplay, and then they get up and they're twice as fast and twice as hard to kill.
Oh, those things were horrible in the remake of Resident Evil 2.
I know, dude, and I replayed 3 hours worth of gameplay
Oh.
because I wasted so much ammo on the Scarlet Heads
Oh.
and didn't light any of them on fire. I'm like, man, I have a lot of gas. What do I do with all of it? Am I gonna keep myself warm? Like campfire situation, like Dark Souls. I don't have a typewriter, but I can't gas. I felt so stupid. I'm like, why did I not Google this at the very least? Why can't I Google? Don't know. Let's move on to something that's actually pretty neat.
All right, I'm down for that.
So everyone knows that Ryzen 3000 CPUs are coming this year. We talked about it previously. Allegedly, they are going to support DDR4 3200 megahertz memory right out of the box.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
With an additional rumor that it will support an overclock of up to 4400.
Again, ooh.
Now let me ask you, just stating that, do you feel like that this is going to be great for gaming performance? Do you think this is going to make any difference, in your opinion?
No.
No? Why is that?
I mean, when I upgraded platforms, I mean, it was like DDR3 to DDR4.
Yeah, I remember.
It
was an AMD
was a FX.
bulldozer, wasn't it?
No, it was a FX.
Oh, an FX processor.
FX 8370. It was 1866, I think, was the speed.
60. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not going to make a difference.
It was 1866,
Mm-hmm.
and then like when I upgraded platforms, I have 3,000 megahertz now.
Ooh.
I noticed a difference in tasks and running more things because I have the same amount of memory,
But it's faster.
But it's
Yes.
faster. I don't.
Yes.
It's not. I don't think it's going to help in gaming.
I agree.
I really, very few times. I think Battlefield was the only game I ever noticed a difference when it came to memory.
So yeah, some games are going to make a huge difference with memory utilization. And
Yes.
some,
But it's
Not at all.
far and in between. I think it's the games that are poorly optimized. And let me tell you, when Battlefield 5 came out, it was a monstrosity.
Oh, and The Witcher 3 wasn't any better at
It
first.
was a monstrosity.
Oh man, do you know it was just a flaming dumpster fire? Hitman.
Oh, I heard the same thing.
When
I heard
Hitman
it's a
came
lot
out,
better though.
It is better now, like years later. But I remember Casey let me pack my PC when we went to spend the weekend with her mom and dad in Columbus, because she bought the game for my birthday and she wanted me to be able to play it on my birthday. So she's like, "Hey, if you want to pack your PC and just go do your own thing while I hang out with my parents, totally okay with it." So I was so excited. Pre-installed and everything. I booted up. It crashed probably like 15 times within an hour.
Oh.
I just shut my PC off and then proceeded to drink myself into oblivion because I was so depressed. It was awful, and it was because it was optimized for AMD GPUs.
Who else does? Somebody does that.
Off topic a little bit, but still, I think these new Ryzen 3000 CPUs, based on their open wide memory bandwidth to the IMC improvement, is going to make a huge difference for workstations.
That's exactly what they'll
Right.
make a difference for.
My big concern, though, are they just trying to improve bandwidth in an IMC that's going to have the same problems, or is this kind of a package deal? Like, did they improve the bandwidth to the IMC because they actually improved to the overall quality of the IMC? I hope it's the latter, not the former, simply because, man, I'm just tired of having to check QVL lists for AMD CPUs.
No, I mean, yeah, it's
Honestly,
rough.
As a tech, it's very time consuming. Sometimes it's just not practical. Like, I love the value that you get with AMD CPUs, right? Both Ryzen and Threadripper, but man, as having to check a QVO list full of memory SKUs, especially when it gets to a point to where like memory manufacturers are doing part number refreshes, so you can't find any of the memory available. It's a pain in the butt. Mutation 666 crashing is NVIDIA's fault, not because it's optimized for a GPU. I mean, yes and no. I mean, everybody knows that the Hitman game was optimized for Radeon tech. That's like when you boot up a game and it says it's developed for Radeon tech, it means Radeon worked closely with that development studio to optimize it for GPUs. And a lot of times what ends up happening, Mutation, is that NVIDIA really doesn't get a chance to optimize the game for it until it's released. They get little to no support from that studio to optimize the game compared to what Radeon gets. And it works both ways. That's why AMD was complaining for years when NVIDIA GameWorks came out that they couldn't get a leg up on being able to optimize things for NVIDIA games because they were getting very little to no support from studios, and they basically had to reverse engineer the game upon release. You know?
Yeah.
So that's a concern that's kind of been plaguing both NVIDIA and NVIDIA and Radeon over the years. Really.
Most definitely.
And you're right, the NVIDIA driver was crashing. I'm not blaming, the development studio or AMD for that, but what can you do when you're in a position to where you're kind of firing in the dark and hoping something works out until release?
He also stated you don't need to use the QVO to get RAM. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm nowhere near as technologically inclined as Mr. Mundy next to me. However, you do with certain CPUs. If you're just throwing something, you're throwing any old random thing in there, you're not gonna have a computer. I see it. I mean, I assist with these things.
Sure.
And there are certain times where I have to make calls on replacements that they might not be sending me the same kit. I have to make sure it's gonna work with that motherboard, with that with that kit of memory. There's a lot of factors in there.
The Mutation makes a good point. He still disagrees, but he says neither of us have proof, but we're the ones making the claim. Yeah, at this point, it's all in theory.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, I mean, we can both agree that it was the driver that was crashing, but I mean, you could also Google source, dude, the amount of times that AMD and NVIDIA representatives have come out saying that anytime that there's a studio that's working on opposite competitor tech, they get little to no support. That was like the whole point with Hairworks. Remember when Tomb Raider came out and they had there was Hairworks with AMD? It was the same thing. And then, of course, there was The Witcher 3 where NVIDIA was putting like a 64 times tessellation on Geralt's hair. Because Maxwell GPUs were designed to be optimized for tessellation, it was no problem. And then when AMD GPUs went to play the game with tessellation on it, crashed the game.
It didn't crash mine.
It killed performance significantly, though.
Performance is fine, but his hair looked like uncooked spaghetti noodles. Like it just kind of moved like this. It was horrible. I was like, what is this?
Never got to that point. And about the QVL and getting RAM, from what we've seen here and from what I have seen, that's true to up until a point. Meaning, if you use slower speed memory all the way up to about 2666, maybe even 2933, you can pretty much use whatever memory you want. Stock clocks, maybe even with like a slight 10% overclock, you're not going to run into huge issues. For some reason, once you break 2933 and you go to 3000 and above, the system becomes really unstable. And I've seen this with Ryzen CPUs. I've seen it with Threadripper CPUs on a frequent enough basis to where I've made it my responsibility that anytime we're working with an AMD system, I check against QVL lists.
Oh, yeah.
Have to. And ever since I started doing that, support calls have dropped significantly and problems in our production department have dropped significantly. So I could be wrong. Maybe there's something else to correlate with that. But based on my experience working with both sales and support, once you start to remove variables from the situation and situations improve, it's probably because of that variable.
Yeah.
So I never claim to know everything, but when you change one thing and then things get better, what else can you expect?
Yeah.
Other than that. Juke W says AMD is doing great with their new CPU lineup at their GPUs, but you can find a lot of RX 580 at great prices right now. Yeah, I recently upgraded a customer to an RX 580 free of charge when they purchased an RX 570.
I mean,
for the same reason.
Yeah. I mean, you got 8 gigabytes of GDDR5.
So just download the correct RAM and boom, instant compatibility.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Wow, why didn't I think of that, man? I gotta throw out everything I know about science.
Wowzers,
dude! I don't know.
I wonder if Chrome has a tab for that.
Chrome
has an extension for that. I might need that.
Much RAM.
Yes,
that's what Chrome has.
Yes,
I'm just saying. And dude, this wasn't to knock AMD either.
Oh no,
Mutation. I don't want you to think that I'm, an Intel or an NVIDIA fanboy. I grew up using AMD hardware. Hell, the first 700 megahertz system that I had was an AMD slot processor. Does anybody here know what a slot processor is? You ever heard the term?
No.
Don't make me feel old. I mean, it looks like a card. It was about this big, and it almost looked like a giant memory stick, and then it plugged into the board in a similar fashion that memory did. And then on the side, it had a fan built into it.
Okay.
Slot processor. It was a different architecture. It was different socket type.
Okay.
Whole different bus, right? AMD did it, and it was only AMD. Intel never followed that trend. They've always used sockets. But yes, and a reminder that we're giving away the Riotoro CR488. Woo! 488. 488. 488. Whatever you want to call it. There's a Gleam giveaway link.
So click on it.
Do it.
Get you a chassis, okay?
Do it now.
Just
Do it. Another and to kind of add to what you were saying, Juke W, I wish AMD did a little bit better with their GPUs, but did you hear about what's happening with the PlayStation console, the new one, and what AMD has done? Did you hear about it?
Oh,
Do you know about it? It's a custom-made AMD GPU based on the most recent architecture.
Oh, I know about it. I read about
It
it.
supports ray tracing.
Yeah. Let's see how good that works on a console.
I mean, dude, AMD has been dominating the console race minus
I'm
the
saying,
Switch.
But you know what? You can still take the money you were gonna dump into that console. So let's just say we're going back to the PlayStation 3 days where this thing is like
Sure.
$800.
Let's talk about the botched backward compatibility,
Okay.
please.
$800, just say hypothetically. You can get, you're getting a little bit. I mean, it's going to be a fine line of ray tracing. I'm just
A fine line. No pun intended, I bet, huh?
no pun intended. Okay, I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be like, ooh,
Rotate.
but it's going to be like, wow.
Says Juke W.
I mean, we'll get there. All right. I don't think it's going to be anything like, man,
30 frames per second. You're not wrong.
This is bashing the PC master race here. But with the $800 you're gonna spend, you could build something that, if you do it right and you budget right and you find the right deals,
You're talking about as far as a consumer purchase goes.
Yeah.
Is that what the new PlayStation consoles reported to be? $800?
No, I'm saying hypothetically.
Okay.
All right. I'm just saying hypothetically they pull the PlayStation 3 move again.
Oh, I don't think they'll ever make that mistake again.
Okay.
And if they do, they're going to make sure they're coming out on top.
Even when like when the last gen, this gen of consoles came out,
sure,
you could take the amount of money, $400 or $500. The 400 was a long stretch. The 500 had a little bit more room to work with.
Sure, yeah.
And there were computers that were outperforming the Xbox One
for $500 back in the day.
I mean, it wasn't like wow, but like
that's like the sweet spot. $800, I would say. That I feel like, Wesley, that argument has ground to stand on if we were referring to the original PS3 pricing at $800. Because if I were
that's what I'm making. So I'm just saying hypothetically, you got this, ray tracing. I wouldn't say it's super sought after, but if you're a console consumer and you don't get to experience these things, like that's going to be really sought after. Like wow,
sure.
So I mean, why not? I hate to say it, why not try and take a little advantage of the consumer's wallet and charge a little bit more for something like that.
Dude, you're not wrong at all. And it almost feels like at the same time, the reason why we're not seeing console manufacturers break through walls as far as a value goes for console purchase, chip costs for GPUs, especially from NVIDIA, are skyrocketing. AMD, they're not really, the pricing is not getting any worse, but the performance isn't really getting any better as far as trends go. And that's the challenge. Nobody wants to invest the amount of dollars it takes to provide a console with groundbreaking graphics and performance yet. And that's what everybody's kind of hoping to see, I think, from current gen consoles, next gen consoles coming out, right? I feel like once you're in a sweet spot of about $500, $600 for a console, it's going to be difficult for a PC to compete with that unless there's very compelling reasons. And the PC still kind of holds the key to that as of right now because of the performance standard that the PC can create as opposed to console.
You're not wrong.
I would love for the console to be able to get back to that point again, dude. I remember when there were things consoles could do that PCs couldn't, and that's why I always owned consoles as a kid. And at some point, the lines got blurred, And now PCs can do what consoles do and better. That's why they're trying to invest in a lot of like the online stuff.
Yeah, that's a big talk.
Because outside of Steam, there's no framework for that, no standard, and there's no paid service that provides a certain level of quality to come to expect. But I can't remember the last time I had issues with playing games online with Steam, truthfully.
I agree.
But like Juke W said, Road to 8K for the PS4 and or for the PS5, my bad, and at 30 frames per second. Different versions at different specs would be a viable option. It would be. Or, like, I'm really shocked Nintendo did not take advantage of the fact that the way that they turn the Switch into a home console is through a friggin' dock. Why not create, like, 3 different SKUs for a dock? Low, medium, high. You know, you have 1080p, 2K, 4K, or what's going to be, 2K, 4K, 8K. Like, why haven't they done that yet? There's full capability using a USB-C interface with the bandwidth that's available. Like, why not do it? Or give people the option. You know what I mean? Here's an empty box with the USB-C that you plug the Switch into. It's programmed to use whatever card you install in it. Put in whatever you want. However, you have to buy SKUs only available through NVIDIA because that's all it supports. Boom, NVIDIA sales skyrocket. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Maybe that's something that they had intended to do early on, and they just scrapped the project and decided, no, we're going to make a whole new console. Rumor has it that they're going to make a smaller, cheaper Switch, which is stupid. Sorry. I feel it's stupid.
Rurutu says, nerds.
Nerds!
We know.
I would imagine Rurutu to be crossing his eyes when screaming that at the screen while typing it at the same time. Switch XL. There you go, Juke. Switch XL. Don't make it smaller, make it bigger.
Bigger the
size
better.
does matter, ladies and gentlemen.
Go big or go home.
Said nobody to Wesley ever.
Oh, I know.
I love you, man.
Well, I love you too,
You know
Joe.
that, right?
I do. I do.
I'm just teasing. Super Switch? Look at that. You're doing all the marketing for Nintendo already.
Well, look at
It's
that.
free marketing for Nintendo.
Reggie leaves, and here comes Rurutu.
Jesus Christ. Ooh. Let's go back onto one of your topics. Gaming.
You want to cover the news real quick, though?
Oh.
It's about that time.
Yeah, dude. I guess. So, some AVA news real quick. Real quick. We're doing the summer sale.
Woo!
So you can sip on your pink lemonade and get a great deal from us. Discounts about 10% site-wide for most things, excluding a few things like special systems and servers, right? But mainly workstations, desktops, laptops, tablets, you name it. All roughly about a 10% discount. Come at me, bro, if you want a better discount compared to what you see any of our competitors offer, and I'll hook you up. Sales at AVADirect.com. And don't you forget it. And this week's giveaway, once again, is a Riotoro CR488, but the way it was typed out in my notes here, it looks like it says, weekly giveaways. This week is a crab! that does look like it says crab, right?
It does.
Thanks for the crab, Riotoro. Appreciate it, man. They could have rolled with that and made the case look like a crab, painted it like a crab.
10 out of 10 would have bought.
Right, and then every time the PC was frozen or it wasn't working fast enough, the tower would just scream, "Get back to work!"
Yeah.
Oh! Easy entries. Follow AVADirect on Twitch. Follow Riotoro on Twitter. And view our sale page. That's all you got to do. Real easy, guys.
Real simple.
Real simple. Are you Cray computers? Give your Switch a mushroom. What kind of mushroom, Juke? What kind of mushroom is the question.
Fixie, bring back the PSP. It would have been a huge hit if it wasn't too far ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah, dude. I agree. And I think the
love
Switch
my
is actually
PSP.
still
Ooh.
hugely popular in Japan right now.
Oh, no, it is.
Still.
It's
Like,
insane.
There are, Casey told me that. There's still studios that develop games for the PSP in Japan. And people buy them. The Vita was living the Vita
Living la vida loca.
Loca. Living the crazy flop life is more like it.
Ooh, got him.
I mean, that's some floppiness that nobody wants anything to do with.
That's what everyone says to Gerard. I'm sorry, I had to throw one time
part?
in there.
But what part, Wesley? What part?
So on to gaming.
So again, guys, we're giving away a case. Follow us on Twitch. Follow Riotoro on Twitter. And visit our sale page. And our summer sale goes all the way until May 20th. Hey, Beardy Baldy. How's it going?
Welcome.
Welcome. It's great to have you here, McCoy.
We're going to talk about something pretty cool in the modding world.
The modding world.
The modding world with 2 games, okay? GTA 5 and The Witcher 3. All right.
What are they getting? How have they been modded? Ooh, did somebody put Pokemon in them? Somebody put a Samsung Galaxy Note in there as a grenade or an explosive object, right?
No.
That did happen in GTA 5, though.
I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in GTA 5 modding community that's just phenomenal. However,
Yeah, the summer sale started May 20th, sorry. I actually don't see when it ends, so that means it goes on for infinite time. June 20th. So yes.
GTA 5 and The Witcher 3 are getting a little bit of ray tracing.
Ray tracing Thundershock. Oh, killed my PC. Doesn't boot.
So I have a video that's going to play while we talk. So this is The Witcher 3, and it's comparison between vanilla and the project that the modder is working on.
The ray tracing.
Yes. So with it being a work of just a modder,
I see no difference.
I
see no difference at all.
Well, you're also seeing it on a very tiny screen.
No, I'm looking here on my laptop screen, and nope.
Wait till it gets to
Was it enabled or disabled at first? I can't tell.
It says right there. I'm gonna skip over this entire topic if you're just gonna just jump all over it. Now look at that. Now tell me. Look at. I'm gonna point. Look at that. It looks more rich. Now this is vanilla.
All right.
Okay, vanilla right here. Look at. You can't tell me you can't see a difference.
It looks darker.
Well, I wonder why.
All right, so the clouds passing over the buildings, I can see that.
This one, I didn't see much here.
But to be honest with you, dude, it's kind of too little too late. Like, no one's going to replay The Witcher 3 because they'll be like, clouds?
Excuse me?
Clouds?
Excuse me?
Like, no one's going to do that.
Okay, like, here you can see... Well, it's hard on here.
Clouds?
And yes, they are replaying due to the Netflix movie, so...
Oh, I have zero faith in that damn movie, dude.
Juke W said, well, it's noticeable but not mind-blowing. And you are correct.
Yeah.
So with these older titles, don't expect full ray tracing experiences.
I'm the type of guy that lowers shadow quality for more frames. Yeah, me too, Arudo.
Me
too.
At this point, it's more of an enhancement to the games that we enjoyed.
It's an enema. It's a visual enema that didn't need to exist to begin with. These segments are not fun unless there is opposition. So don't pout, argue. Ray tracing was unnecessary in The Witcher 3. Change my mind.
Yeah, it wasn't out at the time. What do you want me to say? This poor man's over here spending hours to try and revamp something. You know, I don't need these anymore. I'm done. I'm done with
I like
you.
how we went from this being an
done with you.
educational segment to us just arguing and bickering
Done.
over the fact that, ooh, clouds.
Clouds. I don't even...
I'm painting
You know
clouds,
what?
Dad.
You know what? I love this. Hey, Brooke, I'm hopping to my first topic. All right, I'm done with this one. Apparently, nobody cares about it and doesn't think it's interesting. I'm over here sitting in my office getting ready for my notes, and I'm like, "Ooh, this looks nice. Joe might enjoy this." No, Joe hates it. Just spit all over my dreams.
Are you
destroy dreams like Gerard does. I'm done.
Hey, are you eating those Cheerios?
No.
Because I just peed in them.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to hop over to my first topic. He'll probably enjoy this. If he doesn't,
And he does have to hop over things because, he doesn't have the leg span.
My God. Oh, man, this man, let me tell you.
You tell me, girl.
Oh, I will.
Tell me.
All right. I'm just going to pick on Gerard extra hard for this, all right? You get me worked up.
Passive-aggressive Wesley is the best Wesley.
So Cyberpunk 2077 has 400 people working on it right now.
Which is badass, might I add.
Which is freaking awesome.
Well, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. Either they're really self-conscious about the fact that the game's going to bomb, so they're throwing bodies at it, or it's just that involved in what they're doing, they need 400 people.
You haven't seen what I've seen. You refuse to watch anything about this game.
Dude, you're right. I saw the reveal. I saw like a little bit of the gameplay trailer on the live stream because we did it for the live stream, and that's it. Nothing else.
Riru2 said they should add Tornado and Fallout 4 nukes in The Witcher 3. It'd probably pique his interest more. Let's be real.
Geralt would be like, I have magic, but no magic that can defeat this. And then just be taken by the tornado.
Rutu said 400 people is a lot. That's like a full World of Warcraft team.
That's a full team.
So The Witcher 76. You shh. Juke, don't you jinx this? I'll come through this. Oh, I'm telling you.
That's when you find, if there was The Witcher 76, you would find Geralt somewhere in the world just as like a watermelon farmer, and that's all he is. I gave up the life. It wasn't worth it.
So let's do a little bit of comparison here. The Witcher 3 included about.
Spixie said they started development 78 years early. Sorry. They mentioned in the article it might be to avoid the crunch since the Epic scandal. Oh, yeah.
Now that was a juicy scandal. Oh my God, that was spicy. There's so many spicy scandals going on right now. Whew! I'm telling you, that'd be like a whole live stream in and of itself.
Right.
But no, some comparison here. Yeah, hold on real quick. I kind of felt like I wasn't me today. Not a lot of laughing.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Like earlier in the stream?
Like previous streams. I'm just fixing my shirt over here. I'm not
it looked like you
to,
were just kind of tickling your nipple there for a second.
Maybe I was, okay?
Can we shut the cameras off for like 2 minutes? It's all I need.
The most action I've seen in like a week, my guy, okay?
Right.
Actually, that's a lie. Like a girl kind of brushed on me like last night. Just like, not even like, just kind of want to, like these, just like walking by. I was like, oh, come back.
Or you don't even want to look at your limb because you're going to want to smell it?
You're like, oh.
Got it.
I'm not creepy at all, I swear.
Yeah, dude, you were kind of sad at the beginning of the live stream. That's why I was like, you sound really excited about this topic that you're normally really excited about. And you were like, I like Sony.
I know,
I don't know, did the Coke just kick in? Like, what is it?
Monka TOS, terms of service. Oh. Look, this is not one of the Wesley and Joe love tactic streams here.
Love tactic?
Well, no, that's more me, but more or less going on.
What's a love tactic?
You know, how you...
What's that?
Something that Gerard needs in his life, all right?
We need to get a picture of Gerard and put him up on the live stream every time we talk about him so people know who we're referencing.
He's the one from the Bird Box. That's the one zoomed up on his face.
Gerard's the one from the Bird Box. And just so you kind of understand how Gerard's luck works, just to make sure he's not staring at us right now.
Right.
Last week we were going to do a stream, but our sound card died. And Wesley was unavailable to do the stream. So I'm like, hey, Gerard, you want to do a stream? And he was like, yeah. And he was like so eager. And then we sat down here and then saw the sound card die. And we're like, no, we'll just do it next week. And he looked so defeated. He's like, oh, for figures, I'm going to be on live stream. Sound card dies. And just call it off. And this poor man's just making fun of him.
I'm sorry.
Left and right. They make fun of each other. But it's great for... Hi, Gerard.
I showed up.
Hey.
I showed up at work. He's like, so I was going to do the stream. I was like, oh, what happened? Sound card died. I was like, oh, sucks to suck. I hate you, Wesley.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Dewey Cox, wrong kid died, sound card died. Oh, the sound card died. We need to get a cardboard cutout of Gerard because I'm pretty sure that would be equally terrifying to see after you turn the lights on in your office.
And seeing Gerard in general is equally terrifying.
Wow. Can we make a shorter version of Gerard, though, to make it especially creepy? So instead of it being like 6'4", we'll make it like 5'2". Like, this is what Gerard would look like if he was 5'2".
I just make fun of him even more.
Yep, rip sound card, rip.
Ruru2 said sabotage.
I think for $80 I can get a fat head cut out. I'd be willing to take that. Recon Spartan, poor Gerard.
Sphyxy said that is so sad. Don't you feel bad for this man's, okay?
This man's?
This man's.
Clouds?
Clouds? We do not feel bad for Gerard around here, okay? So we're going to give you a little AVA 101. Gerard is the company punching bag. Love him to death.
In Soviet Russia, Gerard hates you.
But Gerard.
Clouds?
Clouds?
Recon Spartan, like, huh?
I don't feel bad for your hairline, Wes.
He clapped back in Twitch.
I can't clap
He
back.
clapped back in Twitch.
I can't clap back. I can't. I won't
man.
clap back because I like doing the stream and I don't want to be taken off and never able to do it again.
Ooh. Woo!
Let me tell you.
They're gonna go outside and have a vape off now when we're done.
Oh boy. Let me tell you. You know, I feel bad for the girl you took on a date the other night. That's all I'm
Okay.
gonna say.
All right. Okay. That's it. We're done. When did the stream start? Like 55
Oh, hold on.
minutes
No,
ago?
we got like
five more
6 minutes left. All right. I love you, Gerard. All right.
All right. Well, let's talk about.
You guys won't see me next week. They're taking me off. I'm just saying.
Excuse me.
so.
Let's talk about the last of my topic then, since you have 6 minutes, because it is actually pretty cool, and I want to point out some things. So, Cooler
mine's
Master has
everywhere.
added new V model gold and platinum power supplies. Right? I mean, most people are like, okay, it's power supply. That's great. A few things I want to point out. First thing, I got to see these power supplies at CES. They had them disassembled so you can see the inside of them, and they are by far the only power supply I've ever seen to look as clean as they do, and they do that for airflow purposes, right?
Okay.
That's like one of the number one causes for power supplies to fail is overheating or
Okay.
defect. It's usually
Yeah.
overheating or defect, right? Super impressed with the way that Cooler Master pulled off the engineering of these power supplies because they're super clean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second biggest thing, they have kind of a hybrid switch that allows you to switch between single rail and multi-rail mode. And you ask yourself, like, what do you need? What do you need multi-rail mode for? So 12-volt rail is used primarily for graphics cards.
Mm-hmm.
If you have multiple graphics cards, then you have it in multi-rail mode, which is the typical standard design for power supplies, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense. If you have a single graphics card and single CPU, but you want to overclock the hell out of your processor, that's when you switch it to single rail mode, and it allocates that entire 12-volt rail
Look who is
between
in
a smaller set of
Facebook.
devices.
Ria Toro hopped in Facebook and said, "Hi guys.
Hey, Ria Toro.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?"
How are you doing, Ria Toro? How are you? How's your day? We're giving away their case, guys. As a reminder,
Absolutely.
since we're on the subject, we're giving away the CR488 case. Fantastic case for the money. You will not find a better value. And plus, it looks great. If I had space on my bed, I'd give it its own separate pillow, and I would sleep with it. Platonically, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So power supplies. We're talking about the power supply.
I like how you immediately just hop me off the subject. Yeah, I see here. I'm gonna get a stern talking to afterwards, ladies and gentlemen.
10-year
That is
warranty
nice
on
knowing
these
you.
babies.
Oh, really?
10-year warranty.
Oh, that's
man.
nice.
That
That
kind
is
of pricey
nice.
though. Power supplies are kind of pricey. So for a 650 watt, you're looking at $129.99. For a 750 watt, $139.99.
Wait.
And for a 1300 watt, $299.99.
Woo! That's like a 2060 right there, my man.
But think about it, man. If you want a power supply that you know that's going to be cool, not kind of a dust magnet like most power supplies are because they look like a rat's nest, and you want something that's going to be able to kind of support the way your system is designed, albeit multi-GPUs or overclocking, that's it.
There you go.
Thanks for the support, Ria Toro.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for your support for the CR488. So we're just paying it forward.
Absolutely.
Somebody needs to own one of these cases, and that's why we decided to give it away.
Absolutely.
Ria Toro was nice enough to give it to us for evaluation, and we love the case so much that we started offering the case on our website. So if you don't win the case, you can buy it at a very reasonable price at AVADirect.com.
I really do like their products, though.
Dude, they're badass.
Like, I use one of their keyboards. I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
They were such great guys when I met them at CES. Everyone was so nice.
Really?
Answered all my questions, knew their product inside and out. Because sometimes what happens is you go to CES and you meet representatives and you ask them questions about their product, and they're like, yeah, I'll get back to you on that. And you're like, why? Just answer it now. Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Right?
They answered all my questions, like left and right.
That's
They're like,
good.
oh, you have an engineering question? Let's pull our engineer. Oh, you have a sales
Oh,
question?
really?
Talk to this guy. Oh, you have an accessory question? Talk to this guy. Oh, you have a supply chain question? Talk to this guy. Like,
All right.
right then and there, everyone.
Nice.
So it's great to work with you, Ria Toro. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much.
So, Wesley, before we end the stream, is there anything you want to talk about? Personally or professional or otherwise?
I feel bad for what I said about Gerard. I
Aw.
actually do.
Why?
It's uncalled for. It
Oh,
was unprofessional. I'm
that's
sorry.
that's a public apology, Gerard. Now you have to forgive him.
I'm sorry.
I expect you to give him a hug when we're done with the stream.
No, I don't want to hug. Please don't touch me.
Gerard is getting extra toasted today. Oh, hail to the no. All Japanese caps. There wasn't even a re either.
What I do want to say, okay, so next week for gaming news, all right, I'm gonna be
Get an
honest
ice
with
cream
you.
sandwich after the show.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I said. So next week, I will be doing my segment will be E3 predictions. So everybody watching, and who might watch it later, come on, let's have some conversations about E3 predictions. I love E3; it's my favorite time of the year. When like back in the day when it was on the weekdays, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that's when they had their press conferences. I would specifically request those days off like months in advance.
Really?
Just to sit and actually fully watch, see what's going on. It's like Christmas to me. All right.
Okay.
So next week, I will be talking about E3 predictions. So please come with your predictions. I feel like it's going to be a really good year for gaming.
It's going to be a great time, guys.
I do know CDPR, CD Projekt Red. They said this is the most important E3 of their career.
Sphinxy asked, "What is that headphone and mic?" So the mics are Audio Technica P48s.
2020s.
2020s.
AT 2020.
And the headsets are DT770 Pros.
They're pretty comfortable too.
They are super comfortable, and the manufacturer is escaping me, and I was the one that picked this out. Bairdynamic, I think, is what it is. Made in Germany. Ernst, do you want the headset to work for you? That was terrible.
But no, that's all I wanted to say. So E3 predictions, please come. Let me hear what you're thinking.
Oh, December. What's that alien icon said?
Sphinxy said, okay. Seeing as we're, ooh.
He's got the DT 990s. I have the DT 1990s.
Ooh.
Yeah, Brooke has the 990s.
Okay.
I have the 1990s. I barely use them anymore.
Throwing your dope headsets and mics around here. Linkstar, I know him personally. Hello, Terry. Thank you for joining.
Why did you just drop his real name? If you wanted everyone to know his real name, that would.
It's actually not Terry.
That's what his tag would be. That's so. That's
Okay,
so
I'm
rude.
sorry. It's like talking to a friend. I've known him my entire life. What do you?
God, you have as much respect for people as you do hair left on your head, dude. And on that note, everybody, thanks for joining us. We will be back in full swing every week, so please do join us every Friday now at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you no transparency here, yeah, it's Terry.
I apologize. No, it's not. Shh, stop.
I'm only playing.
God.
Okay. We'll be back next week, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a new giveaway, new news, new topics. If you have any ideas for us, please let us know. Send us a private message. Yeah, and thanks for joining. Have a nice weekend, guys.